Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Digital Edge podcast, where we share our perspectives on the digital revolution with a cutting edge angle. My name is Dominik with my co-host Francoise Lamotte.
Hello, Dominik. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm fine.
All right. Today, we're discussing another interesting topic that is emerging and really of the cusp of what's happening. How do we keep our businesses visible in search driven by AI?
Yeah, that's an excellent question, Dominik. We've seen, appearing those AI written summaries whenever we do search now, and it's really changing how we used to look for information on the internet. I think you mentioned that at the moment it's about 20% of the searches that have this AI generated summary.
Supposedly, yeah.
Yeah. We just tried a few a few questions, and we saw that it doesn't appear all the time. Maybe it depends on the type of search that people ask for. If it's a question, maybe it's going to generate those AI answers, and maybe it's just keywords. It's the more traditional search. But in any case, it means that SEO is going to move to another era. I think. What is your view?
Yeah. I think was it like maybe a year or two ago, right? As AI chatbots started emerging, and a lot of people started gravitating towards them because they were so easy to use and find information, right? And the questions came up around, hey, is Google even going to be able to survive, right? That's the primary search engine for many people around the world. And again, right, it's like if you can just get it from an AI chatbot, do you really need to go back to a search engine? And Google's response quickly was, like you said, these AI summaries based on a search term, so you can also get effectively the same thing as you get from ChatGPT or other competitors of ChatGPT, and again, maybe not even go back or not even visit websites anymore.
Exactly. So I think that maybe that's the first point, is that most of the search traffic might move from Google to LLMs, and people trusting that those answers will be enough and they don't need to dig deeper. I've read that when these AI answers are generated, 70% of the people don't actually go beyond. They just take that answer for granted. They have, what they need, and they leave.
Yeah.
So, it's very different. So I think first is the traffic of search moving from Google to LLMs. That's the first thing that is happening. But what are the consequences for, business websites? What do you think?
Yeah, it's a really good question. I was doing a little bit of research because I was curious, in preparation of our discussion today. And the fascinating thing that I found, at least at this point, is that these AI summaries at top of the search results, or even AI chatbots themselves, are really not taking too much away from the traditional search. I mean, we still have a lot of people that go to search engines because that's how they're used to finding information. But the fascinating thing is that by doing these AI-driven searches, is that the user who finds, like you said, the user that finds what they need, they're done with their search and they no longer need to look further. However, the searchers who find what they need in the search results end up going to those websites anyways, which turns into the traffic to the websites in the search results being much more targeted. So you get less volume, but better visitors effectively.
Yeah, so that could be, for now, I'm not sure this will remain true in 6 months' time, but for
That is
now,
correct.
we
Very
still
emerging
pray
topic.
that the traffic is better. So at the end, maybe it doesn't move too much. I think what is interesting is also how we need to be websites that are optimized. We used to talk about SEO, search engine optimization. Now we are talking about GAIO, generative AI optimization, which means that I think the website needs to provide more content, more context, more, answering question than just tagging keywords. Is this how it's going to work in the future?
Yeah, and I think that's exactly what's needed, right? Maybe the era of a keyword optimization for search, that might be over, right? Where that's now getting replaced with, you can basically have full text summaries of your services, right? Which then can be interpreted by an LLM and really much better matched up with what the searcher is looking for. I mean, we're not just talking about entering a keyword into the search, right, as its own attribute for result, but also the entire user profile and the history and user behavior over time that then can much better infer good results that the search engine will provide, right? So if you want to turn it around, right, even though the user is effectively targeted as a buyer of products and services, the searcher will also get offered much better results in return, right, to get to the products and services that they're interested in much quicker.
Yeah, and I think now the twist is also to start from the needs, because most likely consumers will start with I need something, and it before I look for a new dress, or I need to go to a party, and so I think
Yeah,
that's
just
in a
dress,
way, yeah,
fancy dress.
yeah, in a way, maybe it's more positive to be more thoughtful about the actual needs of the consumers,
Mhm.
and optimizing the website based on needs rather than on product push. I mean, we'll see how it plays out, but that could be an interesting approach.
Yes, I think the utility and the usefulness will actually increase as a result, right? Again, you can flip it around, side. Okay, we can be targeted much better also as consumers for the things that we may or may not want to buy, but are being offered to buy, of course, right? So it's a bit of a double-edged sword, right? With the much better search results that are much better targeted to our expectations and needs, and the provider of the goods and services to have a better audience for their products as well.
So, I mean, we've been talking about search in the sense of, e-commerce and driving business.
Mhm.
But in a broader sense, I mean, how is it reliable in terms of just doing a search for information or knowledge? And we know once that LLM are not always reliable. Second, they can be really biased. So isn't there a risk if people just stop at that first layer of information retrieval, like okay, the AI has said that this is it, and we stop there. We don't go further, and we don't investigate.
Yeah, very big question, right? It comes back to I think the critical thinking category and skill that we're kind of losing, if you will, right? Because we see it looks convenient, it's right there, we accept it as the truth, and we move on from that. I think the bigger concern beyond like an initial search result is probably once you get into actual chatbots and you start interacting with it as you normally have, and then all of a sudden, okay, we're going to hear from OpenAI about ChatGPT starting to introduce advertising, right, based on inquiries and user profile. So that's coming, but maybe that's not the end of the world. I think much more concerning is once AI chatbot results or responses are incorporating biased results where you can't tell anymore whether it has been planted uh, proactively or whether it is accidental based on the training materials that the model has received during the course of training, which would be a more organic representation of the information that you're looking for. Whereas if it's been introduced along the way as a way of advertising or influencing the user, I think then we get into quite some ethical discussions and considerations again.
Yeah, and manipulation, and yeah. And this is because I'm thinking, going back to information search, in a sense, Wikipedia was kind of, the reference. If you wanted to know something, because there is still some moderation, some fact checking, and if the information is not reliable enough, then it says, we don't have enough, proof to guarantee that this is correct. But with AI, we don't have access to the sources, and I mean, I would feel very concerned to trust blindly whatever comes out of those searches. No?
Yeah, I mean, we don't have the hallucinations fixed, I don't think. And I was I was listening to a podcast last week where one of the hosts was talking about. He's a professor at Harvard University, and he said that he has students come up with their research, and they have references in their papers that are completely fabricated. And when he asks them where he got them from, they say, "Yeah, they just transcribed it from ChatGPT."
Yeah.
Right. And so it's exactly this questioning and double checking of information, and where's ultimately going to be the truth and the facts.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really big question.
Yeah. So maybe as a conclusion for today, I mean, obviously this is another topic where there are a lot of moving pieces and it's just emerging, and we don't know where we'll be in 6 months or 1 year time, but definitely I think as a business, one is probably a big effort to review our website contents to make them more GEO friendly in terms of answering to the needs, answering like natural language rather than keywords. That's one. I mean, you said that probably the traffic you get could be of better quality. I would say to be checked. I don't know. Maybe it's quality over quantity. And still, I think they maybe in the future we'll need to have like I'm thinking stamp of approval or something that says that my content has been fact checked and it's reliable. I don't know, but I feel that there is still this issue of trust and truth that is a big issue.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah, and I think that's a great recommendation, right? Reviewing what you have set up in your ad campaigns, working with your advertisers to update whatever information that they're requesting to make sure that it's current, and search engines and ad placement can take place where you want it, how you want it, and that you get actually a good match out of the potential customers that you're looking for.
Mm-hmm. Thank you very much, Dominik, for the discussion.
Yeah, great discussion, Francoise.
See you soon. Bye-bye.
All right. See you all next time. Thanks for watching.